Okay, it's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 and home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your folk, B-High. Radio shouting, stepping in the building. I got a West Coast legend / hip-hop icon stepping in the building tonight. Ras Kass, what's good with it, boss?
What's up, High? How you doing, bro?
Feeling good, feeling great, man. I mean, you done stepped off in here with a new book, this Soul on Ice. I mean, break it down to me, boss.
Man, you know, me and Patchworks, we partnered together because I just released the album. So this is like the companion piece to go with it's the 25th anniversary for my first album.
Exactly.
So I dated myself, although I'm only 22 years old. My album came out 25 years ago. So
that's right.
Yeah. So we did the book, man. We actually, we did a first run because we independently published, sold out. And, you know, the demand was great, so this is the second edition of the book. So I had to come out. I had to do a whole bunch of signing, dedications to him. So,
big old fan.
Yeah, man. So it's been an amazing journey. And, obviously, A3C.
Yeah.
And we're also filming Patchworks. We do this thing called Line for Line. It's a lyric series.
That's right.
Got a few other websites and artists bit, but we did it first.
Okay.
So, no hate. I'm just putting that out there, to claim my territory.
Exactly.
But, it's all good, man. It's music and literature and bars and hip hop out here celebrating that, period.
I mean, Soul on Ice. First of all, the name is so doggone powerful, man. Obviously coming out of the West Coast, having that, Black Power movement behind everything.
Right.
What was it like for you when you jumped off the porch as a youngster saying, you know what, I'm going to call this album Soul on Ice and I'm going to let these folks know how I feel?
Yeah, man, it was interesting. Like, I remember one time early on, probably around the second album, I was with Outkast, with Dre and them.
Yeah.
Probably had Stank on it or something. He's just like, man, they must love you. And back home, you like one of the greatest. I was like, I think it goes over their head. So sometimes it's kind of weird because, the L.A. program is, you expect us all to kind of look like Menace to Society. And I am, we are Menace to Society type kids, but not everybody, has a Jerry curl and
exactly
bounces a 6-fold to crip walk to the drive-by. So, I kind of broke the mold, and sometimes they just were scratching their head. They still loved me, but they just like, where's the gang hand sign?
Yeah.
Where's the tattoo on your face? I'm like, look, bro. It's not how it's working. We're going to go with a little smarter.
Exactly. We coming with the thought-provoking messages and everything else. I mean, talk to me about how it was received early on.
Oh, man, it was amazing, man. My first album is critically acclaimed.
That's right.
Some people call it a classic. Kind of like Pulp Fiction, like a cult following to the first album. So I didn't want to let people down when 25 years later, for one thing, man, the big puns and the biggies and the Pacs, even Nipsey.
Yeah.
Like, they'll never be able to celebrate 10-year anniversary of a record.
So
part of it is just being grateful to hip hop, the music community at large, hip hop specifically, for giving me an opportunity to have a job, to follow my dreams, and my parents and the creator, that I'm still here 25 years later just to be able to say, hey, man, that's pretty cool. I lived that long, and this, and this is my journey. So just on some gratefulness, it was really cool to be able to do this and celebrate it with something that's really tangible.
Talk to me about
and I'm a publisher now, so now it's like, there's discussions about book college tours at universities, and it just changes your trajectory. So I'm really proud of that. KRS-One like hit me up and just was so proud of you and literature. I'm like, wow, that's dope, man.
Well, see, I'm also
leveling up.
I'm also a professor at Clark Atlanta University, so if you ever want to come through there and do a book signing and talk to my students, I teach radio over there. So feel free anytime to touch down, and we can make that happen.
You got a deal, B-High.
Come on now.
Let's do it.
I'm here for
Yes,
that.
sir.
Now, with the book, I mean, talk about the life lessons and the things that you put in it.
Well, what this is, once again, it's like we wanted a coffee table book. And so what I was really focusing on and what my strength is, I'm a lyricist.
Facts.
And so, like with anything, LeBron wasn't just born LeBron. He had some natural gifts, but you have to work towards things. You have to practice your skill set, your craft to be the best. So that's the same thing with being an MC, a lyricist. you have to practice it. And so I'm celebrating that aspect. It ain't always about, who who won the award, who drove off in the Bentley. All that becomes the TMZ stuff.
Exactly.
And it's not it's not substance. It's just the bells and whistles.
Exactly.
Who's dating whose favorite color is yellow. Like, that's cool, but it's not really what's important.
Yeah.
And so with this, I was showing my process. It's more so about how I write.
Yeah.
And so, for example, what we did was I actually took my real lyrics for this album, and we photographed them, and then kind of staged like things that I would have. I drink a lot of Jameson, obviously. So, shameless plug. Give me some money. I need some support here.
Exactly.
And then the cool thing is that then we would type them out legibly. And shouts out to Maya Bailey, 333 Peter Street tattoo artist and everything. He did illustrations based on things that the lyrics gave him. So it's celebrating this new album, which is a culmination of the beginning of the journey, which is Solo Nights #1, and 25 years later. So it's technically my silver anniversary of being a part of the hip hop community, the rap community, the music community, professionally.
Exactly.
And that's crazy. Yeah.
Now, Ras, talk to me about the mind state of a young Ras 25 years ago versus this guy we have in the building right now.
Young, dumb, full of, the rest of it. Come on, man. I was turned.
Yeah.
I was 17. You get a, it's like joining, it's like playing JV and then varsity, and then you play in college, and then you get drafted. So I literally, one day I signed a check for, signed a contract and got, there was a check for $500,000. I mean, when you're 17, you're like,
Woo.
wow.
Come on now.
Like, believing in my dream and doing something I really enjoyed. My life changed tangibly and physically. So, yeah, I was dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't make all the best decisions, but I'm still here.
Exactly.
Once again. So, yeah, I was, we had the studio over here. We had Patchworks.
Yeah.
Bob's playing for the Falcons, and then, I'm doing the rap thing, and, that was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a group effort. It was me, Curtis, and Bob.
That's right.
So that's where this journey starts. Mm-hmm. And so the roots actually, a lot of roots here in Atlanta. Like from back day. We talking like 1993.
My God.
Yeah, man.
Talk to me about the Atlanta then versus the Atlanta now.
Freak niggas popping.
Woo-wee. Talk to me, Ras.
Man, none of us have never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
They just jump out on the freeway and it's a club. I was man, this is going down over here. I'm gonna tell you. Now, this is one thing. It was strange to me, but I understood that. Like, I had to figure out. Every city, it's the culture is created by the environment, and so it was kind of interesting because I kept watching like the bigger, kind of chubbier dudes get really hot chicks.
Yeah.
And then I had to figure out, like, oh, they are football people. So the girls are like, he might go to college, he might go pro, or basketball or whatever. And so, whereas LA is more based on, like, aesthetically, physically hot. Because everybody thinks they're going there because they want to be models and superstars or whatever and singers or actors. So it was wired differently. And that was one of the things I remember, just going out and trying to holler at a chick. And she like a big dumpling dude. And I was like, oh, man. So, yeah. That back then, now you guys crush the music.
Yeah.
so obviously they choosing a different prototype now.
Exactly.
But back then the prototype was success was a big guy.
But see, talk to me about coming out of the West with it though. At the same time though, Ras, because at that time it was a lot of stuff going on that West Coast, and it was popping the same way that Atlanta is right now.
Yeah.
So what was that environment like, being able to be part of that wave?
It was awesome, man. I was helped by very successful rappers, be that, Battle Cat as a producer, and Coolio, and I knew all the Long Beach dudes, Snoop Dogg and them. They were older, but it was a community still,
exactly.
And we were crushing it. It was fun, and I was, young and out there doing my thing and having success with it. LA was lit, but we didn't have you couldn't stop the freeway and throw a party. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Because we came out here like, what are they doing? And I want in.
You ain't never lied. Now, when you think about that culture, that West Coast culture at that time, though, man, what was it like for you being a hardcore lyricist in the middle of all of that stuff?
It was like, for me, like I said once again, there was a time where we hadn't really defined ourselves.
Yeah.
So maybe, in like 90-ish is when there became kind of a separation. Because before that, it was just West Coast rap. And within the same clubs and environments, you're gonna see the gangster rappers, the Cholo Southsider Mexicans, couple rock dudes, whatever. Everybody kind of went to the same clubs anyway.
Yeah.
And then with the success of the NWAs and all that, there kind of became that branch. Like, oh, we're the gangster rappers. You guys are like the hip hop dudes.
Yeah.
But then I never fit in. I was too hip hop to be gangster, too gangster to be hip hop, too East Coast to be West Coast, too West Coast to be East Coast. So I never fit into the box. I was too busy being me.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Watts, and then I would eventually go to school in Carson. The Patch is our neighborhood. That's why Patchworks is called that.
Oh.
And so for me, I had success. I was a popular kid.
Yeah.
Using big words. I'm not mad or ashamed that my mother's smart.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know how to use big words, it's not my fault.
Come on now.
I can talk and poly's still a big word.
Exactly.
And so for me, I thought it was kind of funny when they started trying to make me like, well, you ain't really doing it the West way. I'm like, man, shut up, bro. I'll go up and watch. You can't tell me what I can't do.
Come on.
Especially
now.
in no music. If the streets can't tell me what to do, I'm not letting a rapper tell me what to do.
Facts. Facts. Talk about the culture of Watts and how that affected you growing up.
Oh man, I love it. We had community. If you understand the history of Watts, most of the people in the late '60s, mid '60s to probably the mid '70s, there was a big caravan of Southerners that moved. Because they was getting their head towed up out in the South.
Yeah.
So my mother's from Louisiana, and my daddy's from Arkansas. So everybody was migrating, trying to get out the South because it was rough,
A lot of strange fruit around.
Strange day you called it.
Come
a lot
on,
of strange fruit around. So then a lot of people stopped in Texas. Some kept going and went all the way to California.
Yeah.
And so my family's a part of that.
Exactly.
And it was still community in Watts. Like, I remember, like, the gang members still called my grandmother Miss Pryor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Crips in the neighborhood, like, Miss Pryor, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't Ras Kass then. They called me Baby John.
Yeah.
Because I was a little dude, and I wanted to run out and go be with all the, I wanted to hang out with the guys, with the fellas, but I was little. And I remember one time I busted a move on my grandma and jumped off the porch and ran out with the homies. And she was like, Trayvon, get Baby John. And I thought he the homie. I'm probably like 12.
Yeah.
He like 16. There's like a whole bunch of them. Vincent, whatever. These dudes, gang members.
Yeah.
And they just started dragging me back. I'm like, I was down with you. Like, don't listen to my grandmother. She's the enemy. They like, we gonna bring you right back over there and you about to get beat.
Exactly.
But they like, we sorry, little Baby John. But
Exactly.
this prior to that stuff to get you back over there. And that's what. So that it was that kind of community, man. And remember the Watts riots. There's so much culture there. I loved it, man. It made me who I am. Like, my street code, my dog years are really mostly in Watts, and then 8th grade. Part of my dog years, but my formative fight or flight
Exactly.
is in Watts.
Whew.
When somebody starts picking on you in the 4th grade or 5th grade, when you got to start
Stand
firing
up.
on cats. I got tested and went through my fire there. So by then I already knew who I was. I wasn't intimidated. I wasn't a bully. I wasn't a coward. I was just me doing me, and it's great, man. I always qualify. I always say I'm a CR, and I'm a Carson Watts baby. I'm both. I rep both of them.
I can dig it. Now, Raz, when you hopped into the game as a teenager, man, Were you prepared for it? Was it everything that you expected, or what was it like making that transition? Because you already said the money was off the damn chain. So what else?
They was giving
going
money
on?
away back then.
Come on now.
They still getting bags out here too, though.
That's
now.
right.
I don't think you ever prepared. You know, I'm a fan first. You know, there's lots of people that think that they're going to become the next Drake or you know or whoever that is. You know, but we're all not going to become Offset. We're all not going to. You understand what I'm saying? And so I didn't really come into the system for that. Some people want like fame. I really just initially, and that's why they say be careful what you wish for. I really love this music, this art form, and it was very few things I was very passionate about. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, I like, you know, I like sharks. I thought I might be an oceanographer. You know, when you're a kid, like I didn't really know what the plan was, and then I kind of stumbled into this music stuff. And it was more just enjoying it as a fan, and then older homies saying like, "You kind of good at this. You should stick at it." And so, yeah, like coming into it for me, I didn't know. I don't understand what the music business is. I just was used to doing music. Honestly, I did my first show. There was a club, and basically it was the only outlet in Los Angeles, which is a major city. We're the second, you know, largest city. There's New York, LA, and you know, whatever, population-wise. And there was literally one outlet for rap in this entire big city, the second biggest market in America, and it was called Unity. Our homeboy, this dude named Biggie B, who rest in peace, him and Orlando threw it. And so that's where we would go see Biggie or Pac or Wu-Tang Clan or whoever. You know, whoever was, you know, popping, you know, probably, you know, mid 90s or early 90s or whatever. So, Tribe Called Quest, whatever. Busta Rhymes, Leaders of the New School. I keep going. But what was interesting is that I put out a demo. Well, we did Patchworks. Patchworks wasn't a studio. It was a record label, and I was the artist. So
It's crazy.
So we put out a 2-song vinyl, and it started bubbling within the music industry. And so I got booked on a show. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, the people that threw the only outlet in Hollywood in L.A. was like, Raz, you want to perform? You know, I was going there anyway, just on some enjoying the shows, you know, as a fan. And it was like, you know, I remember, you know, Biggie B asked me, I did my show, and, you know, they didn't boo me. So I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh. So, and then at the end of the show, I was geeked, and it was me and, you know, my 2 homeboys, and, you know, we were just geeked, like, oh, man, we did a good show. That was cool. And then later on, he walked up and gave me a handful of money. I didn't know you could get paid for this.
What?
So, you know, that's how innocent, you know, we were back then. Like, we just enjoyed the outlet to have something fun to do. And then, you know, honestly, he gave me that money, and it was a wrap. I was just like, what? You'll pay me for this? I mean, to this day, you know, like, you know, I'm blessed, man. I get paid to travel the country and tell people what I think.
Ooh.
Like, that's hilarious to me.
It's no better than that.
Yeah, like, I get to travel the world, talk my stuff, talk my stuff, might meet me a cool little chick or something. I'm like, really? You can pay me for this? Okay, great. I can only imagine what Drake's life's like. You know, like when you're really, you know, super popular. It's probably overdose. Like, it's probably too much.
That's true. That's true. Now I gotta ask you about a super group, man. The Horsemen. Cannabis, Killer Priest, Corrupting Yourself.
Yes, sir.
Bars on top of bars on top of bars. What was it like getting with them guys and saying, you know what, we got to murder each other every song?
That was the fun part, because the rules were, we pick a track.
Yeah.
You don't get to re-record it. So if you get smoked on this record, that's on you. So you had to go to Gladiator School every day.
That's right.
I'd pull up ready for Gladiator School, like, man, I ain't gonna be the worst one. They ain't gonna just smoke me on the record. So it was awesome. Like, it makes you sharpen your skill set. Just, you know, like some teams, you know, they bring out, or, you know, some players bring out the best in each other. That competition. Right. So it's, you know, it's all friendly competition, but it's still competition.
Exactly.
I think anybody that wants to go play any sport to be in second place is an idiot.
Come on now.
I ain't never ran no race to be in second place. I'm running to be number one. So I'm still
Facts.
gunning. I'm not playing this to be in second place. Rap, period.
That's right.
I'm here to prove that I'm the best rapper ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so should so and 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 so. So that, for me, I'm about the skill set. I'm about, these bars. Like, prove it to me.
Talk to me about hip hop during that time when bars were received well and people could enjoy.
They still are.
Talk to me.
I think they still are. I think we got trained because, first of all, we have more variety of, let's say 10 years ago.
That's right.
And I think corporate America decided to lessen the variety because that's what a company does. Businesses aren't into selling you what's best for you. They're into selling you a lot of the same.
Yeah.
So, paper towel, light bulb companies, they don't want to sell you the light. First of all, they have them. They have the light bulb that you'll never have to change.
Yeah.
But why would they sell you that when they can sell you one every 3 months?
Facts.
So you got to understand, record companies are just like any other business. They're not here to find the most talented artists. What they say is, well, that song, Drake's record like that, produced by so-and-so, that's good. We want people that sound like that because that's already proven that it's good. So if we can't get him and Drake to do it, we'll just find somebody that looks and sounds like Drake with that kind of beat.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of parrot, formulaic stuff. And so people have just been trained because this new formula is less lyric focused and more melodic focused. And then really at the end of the day, they just care if it drop. They don't care what you said. They want it to drop. So, unfortunately, they're just trained that way in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's still, Vince Staples and, it's all these dope MCs. Dudes can bar. The baby can rap.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love the baby. He's cold. Yeah, I told the baby he came in here at the beginning of this year. Actually, my guy Twan put me on him early, and I told him after I had an interview with him, I said, boy, you're going to probably wind up being the biggest thing in hip-hop this year. And it was no surprise when I looked up and he became the biggest thing in hip-hop this year, Now, Ras, as an artist and having your stints to where you found yourself incarcerated, man, what was it like bouncing back from those situations, and how do you feel like that affected your career?
Oh, anytime you not making progress, you going backwards because everybody else is moving ahead.
That's right.
And so, of course, it affected me negatively, but it also, I did the crime. You do the crime, you do the time.
That's right.
One thing I know is, I fare well. I can, I've done 2 years twice.
Yeah.
In prison. I'm not proud of it, but I understand that I'm a soldier and I can deal with it. Some people break. They'll break after. There's a guy that the day it happened started to tell. So, hey, and he sure was pretty tough. He was talking a lot of tough stuff. Immediately, sir, I got all that. This is bigger than Nino Brown. So, you know what I mean? So at least I know I'm a soldier and I can keep my mouth closed. I've been through some wars where we know the business. And, my biggest thing was my biggest fear the first time, because I had never been to prison. I had been to juvenile hall and California Youth Authority and, all these other things. I'd never actually been to the county, but I had never been to prison. So, of course, you're worried about your culo. So I'm like, if the culo, then I'm going to have to kill something. So what I realized is, that happens if you want that to happen. So, you see that happen to people.
I'm back with you, Ras. Now, okay, we were just talking about you bouncing back from
the
that.
fear of in prison. The only other big thing is fear of failure. So you worried like, have I made one too many mistakes, and that I'm not gonna get back.
Yeah.
And then that last one was my grandmother was sick, so I was very fearful of her passing while I was there and not being able to at least tell her I love her, because I wouldn't have had nobody to blame but myself. Ooh. And that's what it is a lot of regret. So it's a lot of people, there's a lot of good people in prison that just did bad stuff,
Yeah.
and then they regret it. Unfortunately, some of them won't be able to fix that mistake anymore. I think Snoop was showing it on his page, but it was a dude. I forgot where somebody posted it, but it was a dude, and he was just saying like, I killed it. I'm from the turf, whatever. I think he was from like Nipsey's hood. He was a rolling 60s dude, but
Yeah.
he got life, and now he's 32. He probably been in there since he was 19, and he just like, if I could, I would not. It wasn't worth it. He gone, I'm gone. I'm not mad at him no more. Like I wish I would have did that differently. And so that's one of the things. That's being around people that were never coming home, or like I remember when I went to court. It was you're in a chain gang.
Yeah.
And I got on the bus. It was a young cat, like he was 18, 17. And he like, yeah, cuz I'm gonna be all right, da 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 da. And they laughing. He was with his homeboy, but they just gave him life. They just gave him 40 to life. You 18, you ain't even lived. You ain't really turned up. You ain't popped off.
Yeah.
But you through vote. That won't kick in until 5 years later.
Yeah.
Like I'm never getting out of here. Ever, ever, ever. And so those are the big things. That's why I don't promote a lot of just ridiculous ignorance.
Exactly.
Trying to be the most toughest and all that because you're promoting that. But then, you go ask the people sitting in prison and they'll tell you that ain't the business, bro.
On the other
Traps, in the gang, and I killed everybody. Like, why are you telling people to run out here and kill everybody, bro? You need to be telling we need to talk it out so we can get this bread together.
Exactly. On the other side of jail, you also have death. Being the artist that was around for Tupac, being the artist that understands and around for Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, man.
What was that like seeing both of those situations occur? Knowing
It's
that you
just
were right
heartbreaking.
there?
I mean, it's just a big L.
Yeah.
Life is precious.
Yeah.
And everything. Let alone, Pac said it the best. People gonna hate you for whatever you do. He didn't say people. He said the N-word.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Like when you popping, especially in a Nipsey type situation where you really putting your money where your mouth is with your community, and somebody hates you for being a good person.
Yeah.
You can't even see that one coming. So that sucks. He wasn't out, slapping up nobody and hating on nobody. He handling his business in his own hood. Half the time, it's funny because I see he was like, what can you do? Can't stay in the hood. Then they hate you if you leave the hood. So what you it's a lose for he kept it in the hood, and that's the things he got. Ooh. That's whack. Yeah. Super whack. And it's just a call of, once again, like, that's why I have a responsibility to make the music I make, because we all can entertain each other with a lot of nonsense, but how many of us is willing to say the stuff that's uncomfortable that we don't want to hear, but we know is true, that speaks to our spirit? So that's the music I make. That's why it's called Soul on Ice and Soul on Ice too, because I'm trying to speak some life to you. I don't want to keep speaking death to my people.
What are the songs, Raz, that you really felt like you got your stuff off on and really was able to just go against the grain and let these folks have it, man?
On the new album, I would say the entire album. But I did, because I went for it. I mean, we have big records, Justice League records. Shouts out to them, and the Olympics. They do a lot of Rick Ross stuff. So I got I got Diamond D and Pete Rock. So I love this album. DJ Green Lantern. Woo. He do a lot of Griselda.
Yeah.
So the sonically the record is banging, and I did something that no rapper has ever done. We got a song called Shark Week where most music is always 4/4 time.
Yeah.
The beat 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 2. 3/4 time is waltz music. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I got a song on this album where I rhyme 4/4 to 3/4, back to 4/4 to 3/4. I'm here for the technical, clinical.
That's right.
You see the little black girl, the gymnast that's doing stuff that they never did? That's me on these bars.
Yes, sir.
That's me with these bars. Now, these other guys can keep showing you the same trick with the same dance, with the same melody. I'm not here for that. I can do it too. I'll do it every once in a while for fun or if it fits the record. But then I'm gonna show you some stuff that you can't do.
Whew. Nah, I can definitely dig that. Now, being an artist, what do you accredit your longevity to, though? Because everybody doesn't have that longevity. You know, I was just talking to Cujo the other day from the Goody Mob.
Salute to Cujo, man.
That's
Yeah.
the fam, man.
Yeah.
25 years strong as well.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of people and a lot of artists won't be able to see that. A lot of folks might not even live to get to see it. Or
Right.
a lot of folks might not even be free to go and see it. And then a lot of folks' music just won't stand the test
Right,
of time.
right.
So what do you accredit your, success to?
Sometimes I just feel like I'm too dumb to know when to quit. But but no, all jokes aside, man, I truly enjoy. I'm a fan 1st. I really like the art form. I also really like what I do. I don't like always the politics of it, but
That's
I
right.
do like, being able to say like, man, I actually went out and, and there's some picture that reminds me of the time when I pull out a pint of Hennessy and I'm drinking with Big Pun. Like, that's amazing. I have these real life stories that I didn't have to make up because they really respected my talent. And, and Rick Rubin would pick me up in a Bentley when I'm 15, 16,
My God.
because he wanted to sign me. Like, I know I'm a talent, and because nobody can take from me what God gave me.
Facts.
And what my family and my genetics gave me. So you may not give me no disrespect, but you may not give me a BT award.
Yeah.
I may not ever be nominated, but that doesn't mean I'm not better than everybody you nominated up there.
Yes, sir.
Because my peers know my skill set. I call it Bardom, not stardom. So, for me, those are the things that drive me. I enjoy it. And I'm constantly learning and constantly trying to improve. I want to get better and better. Those rock artists and them jazz artists, they just kept getting doper. John Coltrane,
Yeah.
Miles Davis just kept getting doper. How you gonna tell him he too old to play that horn? Are you
Facts.
kidding me? You sound dumb. Quincy Jones was still killing them, making dope music.
Exactly.
So I'm with that. I'm here for the long term about the creativity. Yeah, bossing up and leveling up and making books and signing and developing artists. And a whole bunch of others.
When you talk about the different artists that you were able to rock with throughout your career, you got folks like Dr. Dre,
Yes,
Raz.
sir.
Everybody has not had an opportunity to record with Dr. Dre, man.
Man, bucket list. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z. It's the greatest. I've been in the booth and in the studio and creating with the GOATs. A lot of them.
Out of all of those studio sessions, which ones are the ones that impacted rap? That you went in there, you realized that it was time for another assassination in this thing.
I would say being with Premier was very intimidating, DJ Premier, because, D&D is a legendary studio. Like
Yeah.
Biggie, Biggie's first album, all the digging in the crates and, Nas, Illmatic, like all that history in that building. And then Premier, he's just an iconic producer. And when I was there, he had basically explained to me that there's only 2 rappers that had ever did a perfect take. We call it one take Willie, like the perfect, like check, 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 beat, come on, spit, and it's perfect.
That's right.
So that was Biggie
Ooh.
for Kicking the Door, I believe it was. And then Nas he said, New York State of Mind, one take Willie. So I'm like, man. Because, that's a challenge, like whatever.
Yeah.
But then for me, I went in there and I want to take Willie. So I'm the third. And it took a West Coast boy to go in there and check, check, check. And one take Willie, the first verse of Golden Child. So I was geeked on that. Dre, because with Dre, I actually had to pump myself up and lie to myself like he had dissed me. So in my brain, he hated me and said I was whack.
Ooh.
Because anything else and I would have been too nervous and I would have messed up.
Oh, my God.
So I had to go convince myself that he had dissed me and I was going to prove to him how dope I was.
Come on.
It worked. It really worked. Because anything else I'd have been scared to death, super fan, and it wouldn't have worked right. So I remember that. I was like scared to death. But I'm like, you pump yourself up. Come on, some people we're just fans of. They're iconic and they're amazing. They're amazing. They're still human beings, but their body of work and their contribution. So I just knew I was gonna totally fumble and get nervous and get to saying something stupid or whatever. I'm just like, nah, he dissed you, homie. I just made it all up. I just made it all up, and then went in there acting like he hated me. I had something to prove. I gunned down. He's like, yeah, that's dope. I was like, shh, made it. Then I got comfortable. Then I'm like, okay, I'm good. He know I'm dope. All right, cool. And then and then grew from there. So man, that's always amazing.
Now, what was a major obstacle that you had to overcome, Ras, in order to be you?
Myself.
Come on
I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Self-destructive, hard-headed, all that. So it's a constant battle to keep trying to get to the best of me, to get to reach all the things that I think I have the potential for.
Yeah.
To be, to be that multi, $100 million man. I can be that business, and I'm just as smart or smarter than some of the people that have attained it. So I know it can be done, but that takes discipline, and you can't always be running out at the club and trying to party down. The videos always show, a whole bunch of bottles at the club, but most of these people really work hard. Mm-hmm. The people that's at the top, half the time their time is money, so they can't waste their time.
That's right.
Playing around with it. They got to go get to the bag because their time is. They are walking business. They, if they mess up, 50 families don't eat.
Come on.
So
now.
when you start treating yourself like a business and then you're gonna get to that next level and become that business. So that's where I'm on right now.
Exactly.
Is making me bigger, better, stronger, faster.
I'm pissed, Ras, because you got to get up out of here, man, and we got so much more ground to cover. When you gonna be back in the city?
Be high. I'm coming back soon. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the city. I'm here until Sunday.
Okay.
We got some events. We'll be at Patchworks. Me and Wendy Day.
Yeah.
For it's called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of getting the record deal. So we're gonna just be discussing, not all harping on the negative side, talking about the positive
stuff. The real stuff, though. I mean, folks need the real.
Yeah, because there's so many, hungry artists and hungry producers, and we want to kind of, I wish I would have had somebody to mentor and tell me the truth. Maybe I would have zigged when I should have zagged or whatever. So, we want to give back and give some good information to Atlanta's a hotbed, a lot of talent. And then you got people the same way people were coming to LA or going to New York. You got people moving here from all over the world because this is a place where they see they might be able to make their dreams come true into music.
That's right.
And that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's pay it back, show some love, give them some good information.
Ras.
Yo, be high.
Appreciate you coming through this
Thank
thing,
you.
boss.
I shall return.
I'll be here for it. Be High Radio shouted. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir.